Hello there guys, and welcome to Goldcomet Plays the Stanley Parable. And apparently, I am playing the Stanley Parable. But also down here, I'm playing the Stanley Parable. And down here, I'm playing the Stanley Parable. And all the way around the thing. This is, as you can see from the menu, a very clever little game, doing clever little things and clever little jokes, and it should be brilliant. Warning, spoilers, etc, etc, by this game. Begin.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Okay.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard.
That's what I do all day.
Orders came to
This
him
is
through
me.
a
That's
monitor
actually a
on
picture
desk,
of me.
telling him what buttons to push,
On my desk.
how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And
Yep, that's me.
others might have
My
considered
computer,
it soul-wrenching,
buttons,
Stanley
buttons.
relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Is it meant to be grey like that?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something
Giant
that would
words invaded the
forever
world.
change Stanley. Something he
Oh,
would never
no.
quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Hi.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped
we're
out
in.
of his office.
1 second, guys. Why is the sensitivity all the way down there? Come on, go up.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
That's too high. I don't like having really high mouse sensitivity,
it
but I
mean?
like having...
Stanley decided to go to the
relatively
meeting
low.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I cannot jump. Oh. 417. 416, 415. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set
Oh.
of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Now, this is where the game gets clever. The narrator tells you what you have, or what Stanley does before you do it. So, in this case, I'm going to go in the one on the left, like the narrator said. But I could have chose to go in the right one, where some other things will happen. It's a game of choice. But it's weird.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips for not
Feeling a
getting
wave of
fired.
disbelief,
Talk less, do
Stanley
amazing
decided
work.
to go up to his
Don't get
boss's
fired.
office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Well, I'm inside you take it out passive aggressive way everything goes. Fair enough. Synergize core values and monetize free to play. Don't monetize free to play. Oh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Thanks for telling me that.
Coming to a staircase,
go up or-
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Now if you look, I could go downstairs. But for now I'm gonna go upstairs. Ooh. Okay. I can't go to the bathroom. Okay, so now the door shuts. Ooh, computer! Boop. Boop. Oh. Can't go in that door.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
I
human
don't know the
life.
song.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief
Okay, so I can
who
cry.
orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
What was that?
What he could not have
What
known
was that?
was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
What is this? So wait, what? There's a thing. Oh, keypad. 2, 8, 4.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
What have I done? Oh.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. If you say so. That's dark. No.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Yeah.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. It's quite a nice looking game.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Don't particularly feel like doing that.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Nope. And I've decided not to go that way.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Yeah. Do I have feet? No, I don't have feet. Okay. Lights.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I do have the strength. I've got the power! Cameras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on the screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Wait, where are these huge towers appearing from?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Certainly can't.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Why does it just say pirate?
It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. This way, I guess. On. Off. Was I meant to do that? Okay, I can walk around, but I cannot.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes.
Oh.
He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Yay.
Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Wait, how did I
Where
get?
had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
My eyes
Perhaps his goal had not
room.
been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Okay.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed
How
to
pretty
know.
it is.
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay. Why am I here?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The game just started again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. This is weird.